Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Seek Therapy Podcast. It's me, Jasmine.
And it's me,
Me,
America. Hey,
Jasmine.
y'all. Well,
Immediately no.
that didn't work.
You know what? You know what? That was funny.
Hey, y'all. It is America. Welcome back to another episode. Glad to see y'all. Glad to be here.
Yes.
And it's Jasmine Ty. We made it, guys. Another episode. And I'd like to just shout out us for not being perfect. We learned from that perfectionism, didn't we, ladies?
We sure
And
did.
did, and did, and do. Okay. How have we been this week? Ooh, it's been a week.
Has it? What's going on?
Let me tell you, my challenge is that these motherfuckers ain't stopping me.
That's your challenge or your highlight?
Come on.
And what do I mean by that? I mean that I am a disruptor. And I think that my new job that I'm at is not used to one, a young Black woman knowing what the fuck she's talking about, backing up what
Okay.
the fuck she's talking about, and calling them out and holding them accountable. Um, and so that has been a challenge because for me, it's like, you're not about to say anything crazy to me. I'm not about to work for free. I am a licensed therapist. And so put some respect on my shit,
Period.
period, point blank. So that real, and the pandemic has made it for me so that I feel comfortable just like showing up as myself,
Mm-hmm.
period. Hey, like that video of Tiffany Pollard walking into the reunion. Everybody's mad. I said, period.
I
Iconic. Make these
have
niggas
arrived.
mad. Right. So that. And then also, I was telling Jasmine earlier, it's 101 right now where I live. Um, and it had the nerve to cause a power outage at 12:30 last night.
Oh, I know
And so
now.
I could not sleep. All the fans just stopped. My baby air conditioner just stopped. It's hot as fuck. It's like 80 something degrees at night.
Ooh.
I couldn't sleep. So it wasn't giving well rested at all.
Mm.
So yeah, challenges, like I said. But
Mm-hmm.
my highlight is that on Tuesday, I had a super awesome training, like the best. It was a wellness training specifically for the staff members in my program. And my program is called the Black Student Achievement Program.
Mm.
And so these are
Nice.
all individuals that are working specifically to improve our Black kids'
Mm.
trajectory. And so we were able to do some yoga, do some meditation, get like some really good um, speech encouragement. We learned from, one of the people from Black Lives Matter
Mm.
and the work that they were doing to get this program going. And so I just left feeling so empowered. And so that was great.
Good.
Nice.
That's good. How are you navigating your challenge at work?
Talking to my therapist
Mm-hmm.
on the weekly. And also, as therapists, we are very observant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was
Mm.
observing and I noticed all these different trends. They are used to people overworking themselves
Mm-hmm.
without getting paid extra. It's not going to happen here.
Period.
It's a firm no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you know my worth every time.
Mm-hmm.
And so just knowing that what I have to say matters,
Mm.
that I can back myself up, and these motherfuckers ain't stopping me.
Period.
I like that. I admire that because so many of us minimize ourselves.
Yep.
Especially in new work environments, right? You want to be appeasing to everyone because you're the new kid. So yeah, shout out to you for making that space and sticking to your boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I talked to the other person who's the school-wide psychiatric social worker, and she's like, "We need to keep this up. We need to keep having each other's backs because they need to know we're not playing." And I was like, "Period."
Mhm.
So shout out to her.
And it's not only difficult with the fact that it's a new job, but you're also a Black woman. And knowing the potential biases that your employer may have, even if you were hired for this Black program that specifically
Right.
assists Black
That they
students,
might
right?
not think should be there.
Exactly. Okay, get into it. And so you being a Black woman supporting those students in that way, there's also all of these other expectations about how you're supposed to show up. You should be grateful to be there. You
No,
get to work
I'm
with
the
the Black
gift.
kids. You're a
Right.
social worker, right? Social workers are known for overworking and working for free. So it's like
And it's
all of
enough.
these other things. And Black women,
Right.
when we work in corporate spaces, we tend to overextend ourselves because we want to prove a point. So the
Right.
fact that you pushing it back against all of that,
Thank y'all. Because, I was feeling a little awkward about it. I'm like, why? Like, I don't want people to get mad at me. But I'm like, fuck that. Because this is my life. And if I let them have an inch, they're going to go a mile. And so I need to come in with my boundaries intact
exactly,
so that they know I'm not the fucking one.
right?
Mm.
Try
Mm-hmm.
again.
Period. Mm-hmm. We love to see it.
I feel you
Yeah.
on that.
What about you, America? How your week been?
Good week. It was really good. I would say the only challenge that I had this week was really just around my own boundaries, which is continues to be somewhat of a struggle, especially when like when you work for yourself, I feel like it's even harder to maintain boundaries. And so maintaining them with clients, especially them time boundaries, because baby, I'm not about to be sitting here all day in this seat all day. Like I'm not about to do that. But I have been doing that gas sometimes. And so making sure that I'm sticking to the time boundaries that I set for
I feel
myself.
that.
So if
Yeah, I
this is the
feel
time
that.
I say I'm not, like, that's my last appointment of the day, baby girl, that's your last appointment of the day. Like, it's blocked out for a reason. And the thing about the schedule that I use, it'll literally be like, scheduling this appointment is outside of your practice hours. Do you want to continue? And I'd be
Oh,
like,
mine
yeah,
does that too.
yeah, I sure do. No, I don't. So making sure that I continue to do that. And I always have a hard time with that. I think because I see all Black women. So like that makes it hard. And then I'll be out next week. And so I have this like, oh, I got to make sure I
I
see
get
as
everyone
many as
in.
possible. Right.
Hmm.
Because there'll be this week off. But I saw this, was it a TikTok or a tweet? They're all the same thing at this point. But it was really talking about the
Pretty
difference
much.
between having empathy and like having a savior complex. And so a part of
Talk about
this
it.
is understanding that I can be empathetic and like want to support the people that I have, show up for them, but it is not my job, nor am I in control of their healing at all.
Right.
And so you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I know they'll be fine. They was living 30 plus years without me, so they'll be fine.
Right.
But for me, like
Right.
it'll be okay if you aren't available after 6, and it'll
Oh,
be okay
right.
that you're not gonna be available next week. So the out of office is on. Shout out to me. I
Good
deleted
job.
Google Voice from my phone after I
Awesome.
got a text message last night.
Immediately
I
no.
deleted Google from my phone. And y'all got it. I will see y'all on the 12th, 13th, the 13th. So, but yeah, so that was my challenge. And I think my highlight was the fact that I recognized that it was happening when it was happening. And then I was like, okay, let me create a plan around this, right? Like, I'm not going to
Come
beat
on,
myself up.
friend.
Right. Like, I'm not
Come
going to beat
on,
myself
Yeah.
up
friend.
because I'm sitting here and it's 7 o'clock and I was supposed to be done at 4. I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but okay, I'm gonna acknowledge what's happening in this moment. And then, all right, let me make these adjustments. So,
Yeah.
And the way to show yourself that grace too, because you could be like,
Mhm.
bitch, we said we wasn't working after
Yeah.
4. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how is that helping you to feel
Right.
better?
Right. It don't.
Mhm.
Even though we think that is helpful, we should talk
It's
about that
not.
in an episode actually, because
Right, we should, because I feel like people's internal voices, being their parent or whatever
mm-hmm.
when they young,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
cussing them out and shit like that,
Yep.
they think that's how it have to be.
Right. And it don't.
Yeah.
It don't.
Mm-mm.
That was actually going to be my question because I know we've talked about that inner voice that you've had and how you, America, have, you've recognized that you don't talk to yourself nice. So when you recognized this past week, what did that internal voice do? Or did you have to combat her, tell her to sit her ass down?
Oh, I always have to tell her to sit her ass down and shut the fuck up. That's an ongoing thing. And I'm okay with that, right? Because I understand what her purpose is. Like once upon a time, I really just thought that was me. But now I'm at a point where I recognize that this internal voice is not my voice, but also she is there to protect me from certain things. And so this is my reminder of, okay, girl, I know you giving me hell right now because you don't want me to feel overwhelmed or to feel this burnout. And so like you in my head right now, but also we don't have to do that. We can also be loving and compassionate and still change the direction of where this is going. So it would still shut the fuck up and sit down. But thank you, girl. I hear you. And I'm going to be nice because there's no reason for me to be mean to myself.
Period.
Period.
It's the growth for me.
It is. I love to see it.
Thank you, girl. We over here trying, child. We working.
How about you?
Okay. Well, my highlight of the week is starting a new career. And I'm officially a 7th grade social studies teacher. I meet my kids coming back after this holiday. I have a couple more days of shadow teaching. And I was excited, nervous. I know the three of us have talked about how badly I wanted to flip the desk at my old job. And I didn't flip it, but I did not drop the mic, but I kind of punted it and then like moonwalked out that motherfucker.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
miss me with the bullshit, with the drama.
Miss me with the
Um,
bullshit.
yeah, then I got to the school the next morning, and I can honestly say, leaving campus Friday, it's a blessing to feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. We
Yeah,
love to see it.
yeah. And so it's been, my whole thing has always been finding my footing, my place. I'm very introspective and self-aware and stuff. And so I feel like I can finally just uh, make this fun and creative, and I'm compensated well. Shout out to the teacher
Period.
shortage. And yeah, I have full benefits starting. And
Good.
yeah, we're in this. We're going to teach the children and walk them through nature.
Beautiful.
I love to
Remember
hear
this
that.
moment when shit get hard. If
Please.
No,
shit
straight
gets
up for
hard.
real.
But
Yeah.
remember this moment
Yeah.
because you said a lot right there around you stepping into your purpose and how good it feels. And sometimes we step into our purpose and the shit still gets rough and we're like, ah, but like know that if it does get hard, there's both room to accept and acknowledge that it's hard, but also this is something that you've prayed for. This is something you were really looking forward to. And so just reminding yourself of that throughout this, like that's your anchoring. Like, yeah, this is hard and this is what I really wanted to do. But if you get
Right.
into it and change your mind, you can change your mind too. I ain't saying that, but and
Right.
through those hardships, make sure that you anchor in yourself because that's beautiful. Many people don't get to step
Seriously.
into their purpose.
Right. Thank you. I
Bet
think
you.
since my cousin passed, what? I see you
No,
over
I was
there,
just gonna
Jasmine.
say bet you guys favorite. So you walking in
He
it.
said, what's the voiceover on the reels? It took an extra minute making me less than me. But no,
Period.
like since my younger cousin passed, really just evaluating. Again, death always switches perception on you, right? It puts things into perspective, and so um, I think really realizing that we're on, as cliche as it sounds, we're on that short amount of time. So my prayer is recently have really been, let me just touch every soul that I was intended to touch.
I know that's
And
but
then I
great.
was put in this position. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then I started school myself the same week. So juggling new career, finishing out this last year of grad school. Um, it's going to be a ride, but I'm excited, you know.
How are you finding that balance?
For me, it's been about recognizing my avoidant behavior. And
Oh,
so, and recognizing the difference of I'm grieving, I'm being avoidant, and then how that manifests itself. So I'm the type of person that in my depression spells or anxiety spells, I don't clean up behind myself. So then my place gets cluttered. Um, there's a specific video game I play that can be time consuming. Uh, I'm just saying, I play The Sims. Okay. Yes, they still make The
Girl, we
Sims.
knew you played The Sims. We could tell when you said it's a specific video game. Everybody on here that's listening, stop and say, "Oh, she's talking about The
Lord
Sims."
have
It's okay.
mercy.
Go ahead. We
So,
do.
but it's so time consuming because, it's just what is really the objective that we're doing here? Um, so
living someone
getting
else's life.
it is a control thing, which we can also talk about that as well, right? Having control over a situation when you feel like you're out of control, that's
Hmm.
something that I've recognized in that behavior as well. So recognizing that in myself, um, and realizing, okay, is this grief? Is this anxiety? What am I doing? And being solution oriented of like, okay, set a timer for 30 minutes, for an hour, and see what either I can accomplish or where I'm at in that time. Am I still sitting on the couch, or is something different around me, in the room? Is that pile of clothes in the washing machine finally? Things like that.
Hmm.
So just, I know a couple of weeks ago I talked about I was finding myself gravitating towards things that feel healthier and natural to me. So I think this is another natural step of that. And all of it, I'm just going to wrap it up into like womanhood, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Grown, as you said to me when I turned 30.
Right. Grown, honey.
Mhm.
You mentioned something, and we don't have to talk about this, but this was a question that the presenter told us is just like pretty life changing. And so I want us all to kind of meditate on this week, and y'all too, everyone listening. What are your fears, worries, doubts, and concerns about reaching your goals? I said,
That's deep.
and so let's just meditate on that, because a lot of avoidance can be from that fear of reaching your goals. What does it mean to
Hmm.
reach your goals?
Right.
A cute little check in question for everyone.
I like that.
That's a good one too, because so often people think the avoidance is the fear of failure. But like when you
Right.
really sit
Mm-mm.
with that more, it's not the fear of failure, it's the fear of success. And many of us, not most, many of us don't know what success looks like for other people. So we damn sure don't know what it looks like for ourselves. So that's scary. But we do know
Right.
what right now
Mm.
looks like. We know what it feels like. So we linger in it as long as we
Right.
can. That's a beautiful.
Prolong stuff.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like
So,
that. For me, I see success in my parents, right? My dad, for example, is very successful. Uh, but the path that he took to get there and the path that's for me don't look anything alike.
Mm.
Um,
right.
and so that's something, yeah, I would honestly say that yes, it's my fear of, and it's just being self aware, right? Doing that work. It's my fear of success and ultimately of being vulnerable on a larger scale.
Mhm.
It's
Hmm.
different to be vulnerable in your intimate circles, but to really step into your power, be who you are. that is a vulnerability that I admire in so many people. I have friends that are in the LGBTQ plus community, and I feel like I gravitate towards them because they had to face so much adversity just to be themselves. And so, yeah, that's something that I've recognized recently and done the work on.
Yes. And you know, we about that work.
Weird.
Um, so y'all know I love to put people onto new things that I am watching, listening to, working out to, reading, even though I don't be like finishing the books.
Talk about it.
That's my challenge, y'all. I can't finish a book at all. I'll get into that shit for a couple days and then I'm like, uh, anyway, ciao.
Anyway,
But y'all know I love to put people on to new things. So I just want to talk for a quick second about Beyonce's. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, girl, please don't, because I still.
Lord, not 3 weeks in a row. It
Please
finally let
don't.
me go.
At this point, it's 5 in a row, and
She
baby,
said immediately no.
immediately no. Shout out to the
No.
Beehive, because y'all are not
Right.
about to come for us, or come for me, because I'm the only one
Right.
that hasn't listened. Shout out to you.
Girl, I was looking for my vinyl in the mail. Like, where's she at?
Right. I'm still
Sidebar.
looking. So JID came out with an album, and it's very good. And he has some like songs that really speak to my spirit. Um, my favorite one so far, Just in Time, featuring Lil Wayne, because he said, I got time today, bitch. I got the time. And I feel that on a spiritual level because I be having the
Amen.
time. So, yeah, check out JID's album. It's called The Forever Story. Y'all got some new to put the people on?
I think
No.
on that. Yeah, no, I mean, other than the fact that Renaissance has finally let me go of the grip, I've been able to cycle it into my other playlist and listen to other music.
Right. Finally. It took a minute.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
minute.
I'm a big vinyl collector, and not big, but it's something that I have and I want to give to my kids one day. Um,
I feel
so
you.
for my birthday, I ordered Emancipation of Mimi. That finally came in.
Oh,
Not
And
Mimi.
finally,
that's a good
That
yes,
one.
is a
I
good
need to
one.
get
yes,
that. I need to get it.
yes.
Where to order
And
it?
then I've been Tower Records, which is in LA, I believe. So you probably can
Yeah,
go in person.
to the
Yeah,
store.
right.
Okay.
And then I've had an alert on Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder, and it finally was back in stock, and I ordered it this week. So I'm geeked about that. That's my new. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
definitely one of those like, wake up, put a robe on, put on a vinyl, light a joint, and
And I
clean your
love that
apartment
for
type
you
women.
because I too can relate.
We love the vibes. We really do. We do. What is my new? Okay, so this is new for me, but probably not new for other people, but y'all will be all right. So my new has been wearing cute gym stuff. Not all the time.
You're talking to the athleisure queen.
Well, I'm a hoodie girl. Like that's my thing. I've been a hoodie girl for a while. That's how I feel the most comfortable. I'm not in the gym. I don't do nothing for the male gaze. I do it for the bitches, right? Like I'm not there. Like
Right.
I'm focused. Like period.
Mhm.
And so I didn't go to the gym through the first part of the pandemic because scared.
Right.
And then when I came back, I
Yeah.
was like, the gym culture has shifted.
It
Like
has.
girls was wearing the
Everyone.
baggy stuff before, and now
Oh no.
we got on the
During the
full ass
during the
out.
pandemic,
Baby,
people
where have
started
The
I
buying
full
been?
that
ass
shit.
out matching sets.
Yeah.
I'm in one right now.
Hmm. Okay.
crying like an old bitch. Like I was like, what's
I need
happening?
to get into something. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
I mean, I
Mm.
saw you with your Gymshark one day.
Yep. Baby
Mhm.
loves Gymshark now. That has been cute. So yeah, the whole little matching active sets and
Yes.
uh it girl aesthetic, which I really hate with my whole spirit, but here we are. Um,
Right.
as it comes to the gym. So that's been interesting. I still
Mhm.
prefer a hoodie over any and everything. Period. I'm lifting
It's.
heavyweight. Like I'm not trying
I
like
know
I'm
that's right,
you know what I'm saying?
friend.
Like I'm not trying to I gotta adjust my shorts and pull them down and
Right.
baby ain't got time for
But
that.
that's why you just get Alpha Elite. It's expensive, but you just do it.
Okay, so I need to change something else. Okay, so I'll add it to the list of shit.
I'll
But it's
send
been
it to you.
interesting.
Yeah, go ahead and drop that link.
Yeah.
I will. I gotcha.
So yeah, it's been good. An interesting change.
Yes. And feel
Yeah.
good, look good, right?
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I still feel better in the hoodie.
Do you feel most comfortable in a hoodie?
Yeah, I feel more comfortable in the hoodie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is what it is. But it's been nice to like venture out and try other things so I can,
Mm-hmm.
just keep exploring. But it's been nice. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I look cute. Okay. So
Right.
yeah,
Because you
it's been
deserve
good.
it. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
that's fun in it.
yeah, you was like, okay, I should probably let go of just working out in sweats
Right.
and maybe be
Mhm.
open to some other things, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And that goes with our topic of letting go, because
It's a
sometimes you gotta let
transition.
that shit go.
It's the transition for me.
It really is.
Sometimes I do be in my bag. Sometimes immediately, yes.
Those Telfars are imported. The Birkins are in storage.
Ooh,
Oh,
Oh.
because
Hmm.
I did just get a new Telfar this week. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. So, letting go. That's a very like broad topic because there's lots of different scenarios in life where you got to learn how to let go, right? You have to decide when you've had enough. Like, all right, this is like Karuche, which is with Chris Brown. She didn't left for Rihanna. Like, she didn't know that they broke up. And he was like in a whole new relationship on Instagram, right? Took him back. But then when he had the baby, she said, I gotta let that shit go.
mm-hmm.
For some
Yeah.
people, there is a long journey
Mm-hmm.
that it takes for them to be like, all right, now I need to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has their own journey, right? Situationships lasting longer than they need to, staying at jobs longer than you need to,
Mm-hmm.
staying in friendships longer than you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What do you think causes people to stay in predicaments that don't serve them anymore?
Because it's
Lack
comfortable.
of boundaries. Oh, that too.
You said lack of boundaries, and you said what, America?
Because it's comfortable. Like a lot of us, because I think we've all probably been guilty of staying places or with people longer than we should.
Immediately, yes.
And a lot of that is just the comfort, right? Like there's comfort in the chaos. Like you need to let go of this thing or this person. You know that it's not healthy for you, but you also know what to expect. Versus when you go out in the world, you're like, oh shit, it's new people, it's new things, it's new experiences. I don't know what that
Right.
means or what that looks like. So I'm gonna stay here because it's comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, I think a part of that too is people are hopeful. Like our ego forces us
Right.
to believe that like things are gonna change, people are gonna change
Right.
because
Right.
we attach our value to whether or not the things change. So okay,
Ooh, ooh, can we sit right there real quick?
we
Can we
can.
sit right there
Mhm.
real
We can.
quick?
It's always a word.
Can you unpack that a little more?
I can. So we believe, there's this whole conversation often that a man changes for the right woman. A man is a good man if a woman is a good woman. And like it's cute, right? But like there's a lot of nuances there. Like people's behavior don't change unless they want to change their behavior. Their behavior often has little to absolutely nothing to do with another person. Nothing at all. Right. But our ego says, well, eventually it'll change because like I'm loving him. We'll talk about relationships. So like I'm loving him and I'm showing them. I'm loving him, them, her. And I'm doing this and I'm always showing up and I'm just going to love them until they love me back or until they want to change. And it's like, there's no amount of love
to him.
Right. There's no amount of love or self-sacrifice or loyalty that's going to make somebody change. But we are conditioned to believe that we can make people change. So we sit there and we're hopeful. Like okay, it's going to change. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do a little bit more of this. It'll get better. It'll get better. And then there's also that if it don't, we think, okay, well, I did something wrong.
I did something wrong. Why are we taking ownership of someone else's behavior and decisions?
Wow. It's a wild place to be. Yeah. It's a wild place to be. And then you got to go back to people and say like, oh, this didn't work out. Ooh, okay. And when you admit that something didn't work out, then it's like an ego blow. So I'm going to stay in this and I'm going to ride this till the wheels fall off because God forbid he leave and then he act right for the next one.
Oh, shut the fuck up, America.
Yeah, I done been that child. So here we are.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why do we give a fuck so much that it's like, oh, we got to make this work because I can't let him go out into the streets and then find the right bitch and want to marry her.
Right.
Or do to her all the things I taught him how to do.
Come on now. So I'm going to keep auditioning for that top spot.
Right.
I'm going to hold on with the damn death grip. And I'm going to give him Got 3000. And I'm going to give him the gripper. And I'm going to do all of these things, right?
Right. And he's still cheating.
And he's still going to do what the fuck he wants.
So it has nothing
because
to do with
his behavior has nothing to do with you. Yeah.
Right.
Nothing.
And so people are like, no, like I'm gonna fuck him better than anybody else.
Looking stupid. Tired and sore for no reason. Tired, sore, and not satisfied.
Can't do it. How about that? How about that? Because he don't give a fuck about how you do.
Fuck. Okay. Woo,
where the rose at?
Not where the rose at. Ah, you hate to see it.
You love to see it because
you love to see that, but you hate to see the fact that they don't be giving a fuck. So
right. That's
right.
Here we are.
Hate that.
Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Yeah.
But yes, America, I want to just punch you in the face because yes, you fucking nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Because we do attach our worth to the outcome of situations.
Yep.
If this relationship fails, it's because of me.
Yep.
Are you the only one in the relationship?
Come on now.
I'm confused. How one person? Okay, I'm trying to make it make sense. The math ain't mathing.
It never will.
It won't.
It won't.
No.
Jasmine, how do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship or a situationship?
When you realize that you have more fun, less stress, and most likely actual orgasms by yourself versus when you're with that person. Right. Now, I grew up, my mom's only child. So I was the only child for 14 years. And around that time, you start liking boys, by the time my brothers came along. And one of the things my mom two of the things she drilled into me love and sex don't have anything to do with each other.
Not a damn thing. Come on, mama.
And right.
I
And
love that for
if
you.
you have more fun by yourself, if you're content, you're not crying, you're not angry by
Mhm.
yourself, right? If you're just simply at peace, why spend your time with someone who disrupts that and brings
Mhm.
anything less than that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I listened to that advice. You know what I mean? I had to, instead of like, instead of just listening to the
You
advice and
wouldn't be
being
a
cool,
good
I
daughter
had to
if you
gain,
did.
right? I had to gain my own wisdom at it,
Right.
life
Period.
experience. Um, but to come out, as a grown woman now and be like, yeah, 100, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, as someone who was involved with someone for a very fucking long time and never was it like official, I would have to say like, and then when I see that in my friends, I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's never gonna change. He's gonna continue to do this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
please, just for God's sake, cut that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
But see, when you are in a place where you are looking for love, right, and you think that you find love, but you don't even love yourself,
Come on now.
Hmm.
you are accepting of whatever you are given.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And it is better to have a crumb of love than it
So
is to be single.
get into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to let you know that that shit is false. Because, like Jasmine said, this shouldn't be causing you stress, fucking up your day, controlling you, cutting you off from your friends. Like, that should not be the relationship. And if so, it's unhealthy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Cut it off. Yes, feelings are there, right? Oh, he treats me nice sometimes.
It's the
How about
sometimes for me.
it's the sometimes?
It'd be like that
Because
too.
what about the other
Well,
times?
right.
And you can easily find someone who'll treat you nice all the times.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you settling for this sometimes?
Well,
Walking on eggshells, unable to be yourself because you don't know what version of them you're gonna get.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Why? And you was gonna say something. Let me know. Tell me. Cause
Everything looks like a buffet when you're starving,
ooh,
Ooh,
America.
ma'am.
Can we
not
fight?
even thirsty. We're starving.
Everything looks like a
Starving for
buffet when you're starving.
substance.
Everything.
Ooh,
Mm,
Everything.
fuck.
So if you out here,
Wow.
somebody just swerved in their car listening to that.
Right. And it was me.
I cannot and I will
Somebody go,
not. But no, but really, like if you are not used to getting, or it's been a while since you've had some sort of emotional attachment or any sort of
Oh,
intimacy, and then you finally, bleh, but been there, so
right.
you finally get
We
it,
have.
then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take what I can get because
Right.
it's better than nothing, right?
Better
So
than
like
nothing.
you eating up the crumbs, but then after it settles, you still starving.
Right.
So like then you waiting for more and you'll take whatever crumbs they drop back off because
Right.
in that moment you've convinced yourself that it's fulfilling,
Right.
even when it's not.
mm,
Because it's not.
And if you sat back and actually looked at the dynamic of
Mm-hmm.
it, then you will realize that it's not.
Yeah. It
right.
never is.
More chances are not, your gut is already telling you that it's not, but your
Oh yeah.
ego isn't letting you let
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Because we've what? Attached our worth to that shit.
Yep.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Every single time.
I can talk about jobs because a
Mm-hmm.
bitch like me will leave a
Mhm.
job real quick. Period.
Me too. Yeah.
So the thing about like our profession is that we are always going to be in demand.
Won't he do it?
Yes.
Shout out to God, because we are
Shout
literally
out to
God's
God.
favorite.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
We are. And we do
Yes.
his work.
We do
And we
his
do it
work.
good
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do his.
because we are helping people change their lives.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That
Yes.
was that was the Baptist side for you.
Oh,
Right.
not the Baptist side.
And so for me, I have been in jobs that one, I did love the agency,
Mm.
but I was in wraparound and I hated that with every fiber of my being because people were not pulling their weight and oh, call Jasmine the therapist, call the
Mhm.
therapist. It's not clinical. How about you go up there because this is a what team?
Mm.
And so I said, okay, I don't want this program to ruin my passion for therapy. So I left
Mhm.
and went to a raggedy fucking place.
Oh,
Come on, Raggedy.
Raggedy.
touche.
But I was at ACSW, so I'm trying to get my hours. So I knew that it was never going to be like an amazing place. Like I did have
Mm.
that amazing place, but they wouldn't work with me in terms of me only having community clients.
Mm.
They're like, how about half rap, half kid? How about no? I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
And so, me again having that agency over my life, I'm like, if you can't meet me with what I'm saying I need, then
Mhm.
I can't be there. And so then I went to the raggedy place and it was raggedy. And I knew as a very observant person, watched the whole shit. I said, oh, this is a very raggedy place from the top to the bottom. And so
Mhm.
what I need to do is just do what I need to do because they bar is in hell. I can literally meet all my clients and really just like blow them out of the water. But that's just me sliding by.
Mhm.
So I can get my hours and get the fuck out. And guess what I did? Got my hours and got the fuck out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
They I left them because they wanted me to increase my insurance and this is during COVID to match whatever and that would have increased my insurance bill to like $500 a month
Mm.
and they didn't give me no extra money so I'm confused as to where they think that's going to come from. And so they're like, well, we need you to increase to these limits. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And we're working from home. So please make it make sense. And so then I'm like, well, I'm just going to leave. They're like, oh, we really want you to continue working here, but you're not giving me more money.
Right.
So it's not making sense to me. So I just quit. I didn't have another job scheduled. I just was like, I'm done with this shit. I
Mhm.
used that time, study for my test, and pass. Got a job very next day.
Correct.
Nice.
Because we are the job. And so
Yeah.
remember that. Don't take no raggedy shit from these jobs.
Mhm.
Say your piece respectfully, you know, do what you have to do. Make sure you're doing your job now. Don't just be out here like, they can't make no, bitch, do your job. What did Kip say? Nobody wants to fucking work.
Girl, to hell.
Do your job. But if so, the way I look at jobs is that we spend more time at work than we do in life,
Mhm.
unfortunately. And so, if I am going to be in this place longer than I am in my home, I need to feel comfortable. One, I need to like it. Two, and it needs to make sense to me. Like, I need to be getting paid well. Three,
Right.
Yeah.
period. And so for me, it's like if any of those needs are not being met, cut that shit off.
I feel
Let it
you.
go.
You said something there too, Jasmine, that I think is important. You said if those needs aren't being met. And if we're being honest, a lot of people don't even know what their needs are. So, like, if you don't know what your needs are, it's going to be hard for you to be in a season of saying, Not you up in your face. You're gonna be in a
Because you is always reading me my rights.
sorry. Right? So I'm just saying. It's for the people, right? Because a lot of times people don't know what they need. And so if they don't know what they need, they can't ask for it or advocate for it or even look for it.
And can I just pause real quick and
Mm-hmm.
say that a lot of people don't know themselves
Come on now.
because they
Yeah.
don't spend time with themselves. When
Correct.
there is time to be spent with themselves, they
Mm-hmm.
spend it. Oh, let me check my phone. Let me do that.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, besides getting to know yourself,
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
play.
Yeah. So they have no idea. So you can be in a situation and you can be like, something about this don't feel right. Or I notice when I go to work, I get an upset stomach. Or I notice when I'm
Mm.
with this person, I almost said that. Okay, let me rewind. No,
No,
I'm gonna
say
say
it.
it.
No,
I
say
notice
it.
when
Check
I'm with
it.
that
Say it.
Say it.
person, I don't get wet
Say
or
it.
I'm not turned on,
Oh,
whatever the case may be. And it's like, well,
It's not giving
your body is giving you all the signals that
all
you
the
need,
signals.
but you're ignoring them because you think this is what you're supposed to be doing, or you have to do this for the moment. And like working is a little different. Some things we do have to do out of necessity, right? Like
Right.
everybody like eating when they're hungry, and everybody like having somewhere to lay their head down at night. So I
Right.
understand the job piece is a little bit more difficult. But when we're talking about relationships, like your body is going to tell you every single time. But you got to
Everything.
spend enough
Right.
time paying attention so that you can know what you need to do.
Right.
I agree. I just had to leave a job, of course, to go into this new career position.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make that distinctively clear, a job versus career,
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to fulfill you in other ways. You know what I mean? Provide you benefits, give you longevity, 401k, like things that you can wrap your life around because you are there more.
Mm-hmm.
And the new job, I told them in my interview, I was like, hey, I don't need to give this current position 2 weeks notice, but at least something. And
Right.
HR with this school sent me my congratulations email with the start date of tomorrow. Like you start in less than 12 hours. And
Mm-hmm.
I sat there, and to give context, right? I'd only been at this other position, all right. Only been at this other position 4 months total. I hit my 90 days the same week that my cousin passed. And they then moved me from the position that I was hired for to reception, switched the receptionist with me. And it wasn't a demotion because my pay rate didn't change, but they kept me at a training pay rate versus what, anyway. So that's a demotion. And the way I took it was it's easier to replace a receptionist than it is, what I was doing previously.
Touche.
When I got the notice to start the new job the next day, uh, there was a part of me that hesitated. And I drafted an email to basically let them know unfortunately, tomorrow's not going to work. I'm just need a couple more days to like let this current employer know. And talk to my parents. Luckily, I have a big blended family, so talked to all three of them, and everybody was like, "You don't give up an opportunity that is genuinely better for you than something that is dead end."
Right.
And I was like, "You're absolutely right." And I woke up the next morning, typed out a 3-sentence resignation letter,
Oh,
walked into that office 30 minutes late for my shift, and slid it slowly across the desk of the COO and was like, "Yeah, I'll be leaving at lunch today, resigning."
Can you
And
make sure my check
yeah,
is ready? I don't want to have to come back up here.
I went ahead and screenshotted everything in those portals and emailed it to my personal email because everyone loves a paper trail. But
Right.
yeah, just walking into something that is way beneficial and letting go of something that does not serve you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was not utilized for my skills, for what I can bring to a team at this old position. And yet the next day walked into a position where they've been waiting on me to show up.
Period.
They've been waiting on, you know what I mean? Low key, there's a teacher shortage, but they've been waiting on me, you know what I
But
mean?
don't diminish
So,
your shit because they
Thank
have
you.
you and waited
but
for
you know what I
somebody
mean?
like
But
you.
the shortage is why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I have a passion for it. Teaching is something that I pursued a while back, but just once I got into grad school, decided to focus elsewhere. But yeah, it's crazy. Had I not listened to that wisdom from my parents and thought that it was necessary to hold on to something that was no longer serving me,
Just to say that I had it,
just
because
to,
a lot of
just to,
older people
yeah,
stayed in jobs that they hated just to say that they had a job. And I do understand it probably was
right.
harder to come by jobs. And so you had to at that time. But it's like now, like if you fucking hate it, why are you still there?
People do the same thing with relationships too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like you hold on just to say you have it. You stay in a relationship or a marriage just to say that you got it because we've convinced ourselves that it's hard to find another one. It's the same concept.
Or maybe they convinced you that you can't do better.
Touche. Touche.
Mm.
And it's a lie every single time. And this example for you, Jasmine with an E, is perfect because you were in a situation that you know wasn't benefiting you or serving you, and yet you were still holding on to it because okay, I've been here 4 months. What could this mean? I've made this commitment, X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C. And then you decided to venture out, explore other potential opportunities. You started to release, and so God, universe, whomever you believe in, then took that from you and handed you something else that was what you wanted. And I think that's the most important thing about letting go, is understanding that you can't receive if your hands aren't open.
How about that? Because I think about you saying that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you cannot be open to new stuff if your hands are full.
It's impossible.
And some of us are clenching so hard, and
To
that and
shit
that
that
could be
really
holding,
wants to fly away.
Yeah.
right, right, or it could just be trauma. You know what I mean? Your experiences have you just gripping onto. It could be a little bit of being comfortable. You know what I mean? And you don't want to
Yeah.
shift out of that full potential, what's out there, that bigger thing, because that's going to lead to being uncomfortable and you finally have found some footing.
Mm-hmm.
um, but just open your hands, receive it.
And believe that you're worthy of receiving the things that you want,
Because you
because
Mhm.
are.
you are. And that's another thing. Like, we'll get in shitty situations and be like, oh, this sucks. Da, 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 da. And like, we'll bitch and moan in the group chats, right? But then
Right.
when it comes down to it, we won't walk away from it because we have this belief that, like, oh, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, or I'm supposed to be here. So I'll just stick it out. You don't have to do
Mhm.
shit. Like, if you want something different and different is available to you, take it.
Right.
And if that don't work, if one nigga don't work, get another. And if that one don't work, get another. But like, drop it,
Ew.
let it go. Be willing to let it go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Letting go offers us so much freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of us don't really know what freedom for ourselves really looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Because we're so
literally.
used to being boggled down by shit,
Mhm.
Yep.
or having other people make our choices for us and tell us what to do and what not to do. So then when you're in a position where you get to choose, it's like, oh shit, well, I don't know. Does this work? No, it's okay. I'll just stay here and hang out for a while, because you're not used to having that
Mhm.
autonomy over your
Right.
life.
And
Mhm.
this one might fuck people up. And I'm sorry, but maybe you're not used to seeing healthy relationships. And so
Get
you
into it.
think that it is
Mhm.
normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we think it's normal to struggle, especially
Right.
Black and brown people. Like, our whole existence is rooted in struggle
The
and
struggle.
survival, right? Like
Right.
we make a way out of
Overcoming.
right. We make a way out of no way. Like that's what we known for. So it's like we believe that struggle is literally a route of passage. Like I have to struggle in order to make this work. So I gotta stay in this shitty relationship or I gotta stay at this
Right.
job I hate. And many of us saw our parents go to jobs that they absolutely hated or jobs that didn't treat them well, but they stuck in there, they toughed it out, or in
Right.
relationships where it was the same thing. So we think, okay, well, that's what perseverance and persistence looks like. Like I'm gonna
Right.
stay here and I'm gonna prove a point. And the only point you proven is that you being
Your threshold is high.
I had a lot of thoughts I was gonna say there.
I know, because for me, what came up, because I say this to my teens all the time, is that they didn't hit you up because they care about you. They hit you up to see if you were still stupid.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. But
Ooh.
I ain't want to hit nobody in the face. But literally, you proved that you're
Ooh.
stupid. That's literally what you proved.
Every
That's what
time
you proved.
that you respond after someone showed you that they don't give a fuck about you or your feelings or your body,
Yeah.
and you're just so thirsty for anything that you just continue to take it back,
Lap it
it's
all
not
up.
showing that you are loyal. It's not showing that you're a ride or die bitch. It's showing that you'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they
Mm.
will always hit you up.
Exactly.
They're gonna put you in a back pocket
Mm-hmm.
and sit on you. I don't know where I was leaning with that.
I'm not about
But you're
to
gonna be in a
play with
back
you.
pocket,
They'll
damn
put
it.
you in the back pocket and reach for you when
When
they
they
when they got a
want
use
you.
for you.
Right. When they
Thank
need it.
you.
Mm-hmm. And mm,
Say it.
Ooh, say it.
Back, back, no shade back.
a long time ago, I was a no, I'm sure.
Mm.
And
Um,
I'm admitting it.
and I mean, okay, no. But once upon a time though, it felt like a compliment when people would reach out that have like, oh, he trying to spin the block. Or, oh yeah, of course
Right.
you want to come back because it's
It
me.
did feel like a
Girl, look
compliment.
who just texted me. Girl, look who in my
Girl, look at this.
girl,
Oh, he want to talk again.
girl,
And then you let him.
girl.
Mm.
And you're looking like boo boo because give him a week or two and it's gonna go right back to the same shit it
He's
was
gonna
before.
still be raggedy. Like,
Yeah.
some raggedy motherfuckers just always gonna be raggedy.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think letting go is so complex for people
Hmm.
because when we are in this process or in this season of letting go, we are doing multiple things at a time, right?
Right.
Like we're we're learning how to show up for ourselves differently. We are
Hmm.
grieving relationships that we had or
Hmm.
wanted to have
And expectations,
and
right?
expectations that we had. We are challenging the fact that yes, you want to text back and respond, but you know that's not good for you. You
Right.
are also like sitting with the fact that in that season you're experiencing this discomfort because you want to make sure that your actions are aligning with the things you say you want, but sometimes you want to do something different because it feels good
Right.
and it meets a need. And so there's like so
Right.
many different things that's happening at one time. And I think that's probably another layer to why it's difficult for people to let go.
Mhm.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just like, this is better than nothing.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
here I
is it
am.
though?
It's not.
Because I had a
It's
client
not.
say, sorry, go ahead, Jasmine.
No, no, no. I was gonna say it's not, but just like that client, just like all of us, you are only viewing through the lens of your own
Mm-hmm.
experiences. That's going to be through childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, and America's face.
I was just like,
Through those lenses is how we develop how we see the world
mm-hmm.
and how I dare to say how you see yourself,
Mm-hmm.
through your own experiences, and you have to build that resiliency up. But just like how we said earlier, that you have to be aware of, I think those two things go hand in hand. And so if you're not aware of yourself first, then you're just going to keep running into a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're right. Our childhood and those experiences are definitely going to impact how we show up as adults. But then the work there is challenging that. And so often we
Right.
don't challenge it.
Yes.
Like, oh, well, this is
Right.
what I saw, or oh, this is what I think this is what
Because sometimes like it's just we just subscribe to stuff
exactly.
because this is what
Yep.
we think we should.
Mhm. Right. And we got to remember that a lot of those core beliefs aren't even like, or our limiting beliefs aren't even what we actually believe to be true about ourselves, but they are
Right.
things
Yeah.
that we internalize, messages, experiences, and all of that that have come together, and it creates this inner dialogue. And we will literally continue on these feedback loops of doing shit that's not good for us or that we don't really want to do because we don't take a second and say, hold on, is that true? Is it true
Right.
that being with this dude that I only hear from at 2 a.m. is better than me being by myself? Like, is that true?
Mm-hmm.
But we just like, oh, okay, well, I want attention, so I'm just gonna go for it. Or it feel good for
Right.
the 30 seconds that it lasts, so I'm just gonna deal with it. Oh, my cup is
Oh, not
Mine
empty.
too.
it's empty. I'm sad. That's okay. I'll drink my water.
We should all hydrate.
Let's do it.
Because we definitely just said plenty of words.
Plenty
I was
of
going to say one time for the thirsty bitches out there.
it.
And may you no longer be thirsty or stop
And
and
may you be quenched at the end of this
may you be
cast.
full and
Please.
hydrated. And that's how I've been actually sending emails at work saying, I hope this email finds you hydrated and well.
That's what I say.
Because
I
if
love
you're hydrated, but you're not minding my business.
I literally start all my emails with, I hope this email finds you well and hydrated.
Look at us.
I love that.
Even though it was
I'm
said to
gonna
me one
come.
time and that person was being shady, but I was like, oh, this is perfect.
And it's me.
I'm like, this is perfect. This is
Because
my
I
new
am.
go-to.
It is. Because I want you to be so busy hydrating that you're not trying to mind my business.
Correct. Because being hydrated is a full-time job as quiet as a skip.
It is.
It is.
Full-time job.
And we all deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we should kind of go over some important steps to take to cut that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
For me, I'm not going to mute you. I'm going to unfollow.
Mm.
Friend, romantic, like it's an unfollow for me because I don't want to see anything. Like I don't care to know what you're up to. And so to
Same.
that point, I also say like friends, if you know that there has been like a breakup in a friendship, don't be sending people shit to them
Okay.
because maybe they unfollowed them for a reason. Period.
Correct.
Don't update me on nobody.
Because I don't care.
And don't update
Right.
nobody on me.
That part.
It's none of their business.
Let me see.
So yes, I unfollow. I delete pictures and crop. Like if I look good in the picture, I'm gonna just crop you
Not
out.
you hitting them with the crop.
Hit them with the Diddy crop, okay?
We love a good crop.
Classic.
We really do.
And for me, something that I like to have my clients do, and they're always like, "Well, what should I do?" I'm like, "I'm not giving you directions."
Right.
But sometimes you do have to write letters to people and say everything that comes to mind. Good, bad, things you never said, like whatever comes up for you, you got to get that shit out. Because too often are we just holding on to all this shit and don't want to talk about it with nobody. And so we just walking around with shit.
Yep.
Let it out. For me, that is so helpful in cutting that shit off. What about y'all? What are some important steps to take? to let go of something?
For me, it always comes back to allowing yourself to feel your feelings and allow yourself to feel all of them while also recognizing that feelings aren't facts. And so we got to go deeper. Sometimes people will say, oh, well, I'm so mad at him or them because of this and that. And I will always say, are you mad at them or are you mad at yourself? Is it them you need to forgive or do you need to forgive yourself? Like, what else is happening in this equation that's keeping you stuck in this feedback loop? So I think that's really important. And then also really just being compassionate with yourself, even when you acknowledge that, like, oh, I'm mad at myself. Okay, so like you get to be upset with yourself, but then what does that mean? And then what are the things that you need to do to start to rebuild that self-trust that we sometimes lose when we're in these relationships? But I also want to say, because I didn't say this earlier and I thought about it and I was like, oh, I should have said this. Another reason why I think letting go is really hard is because it means that you are having to free yourself from some
You're about
part
to say something good
of your past, right? And so these are things that have essentially made you or brought you to this current.
How about
point.
it? Your identity.
Your identity. And
Who am
so,
I if I heal? Oh,
right.
Oh,
And
who
so
am I if I heal?
Who are you? And that's scary for people because when we do that, we understand that we are getting rid of that thing or those things, those people, so that we can change who we are or where we are. And that is terrifying. Right. So a part of the feeling your feelings is also allowing yourself to grieve those past versions of yourself, right, and then get to know who you are in this current space. And that's hard because for some reason we don't want to do that. Yeah, it's a whole. It's a whole lot.
Damn.
Because there's comfort in saying that that's who I am, right? And that's why people don't ever change. That's just who I am. I'm always been this way. Okay, so if you've always been that way, that's sad.
But also, it's a lie. You haven't always been that way. When I tell you that, grinds my fucking gears. That's just how I am. That's just how I've. No, the fuck you haven't. You've learned that somewhere. That is a defense mechanism, a coping skill, a survival instinct that you have picked up on that somebody has led you to believe is the right way to show up. That is not who you are. The same way you learned that, you can choose to learn something else.
Oh, that's what I tell my clients. Like, just like you do that, you can unlearn it.
Period.
Right. It takes
is
work.
Your job to unlearn it. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, just that. Like, it takes work. It's easier said than done. But once you break down the fact that you learned how to be how you are now, then it's easier to wrap your mind around unlearning and reprogramming. But yeah, man, that stuck with me. Who am I if I heal? You know what I mean? Who was I before all the trauma? You know, before the world put their stipulations on what box I need to fit in.
Correct.
Who was I before that? Damn.
some
words. I'm just a word. Just to piggyback off of all of that and in regard to letting go, I would just honestly practice mindfulness. And if you're looking for a place to start, honestly, go on Amazon, type in mindfulness in the search bar and pick a workbook, pick a game, a coloring book, just something to like get the ball rolling, and then go seek therapy.
Period. And that's the whole point of this talk.
Yeah.
To seek therapy.
At the end of it all.
At the end of the day, motherfuckers need to seek therapy. I'm motherfuckers. I got the therapist.
I'm motherfuckers. I cannot. And on that note,
well, this has been a good one. We was very deep in our bag, like very deep in the Birkin.
And so pulled them out of storage.
I know. And I know that y'all got something good because I did.
We love to see it.
Right. And so I just want to remind you that you can hike 10 miles in 101-degree weather. You can do
Oh,
CrossFit in 101-degree weather. You can drink kale juice in 101-degree weather. But if you're ignoring the things going on in your head and in your heart, then you're still not truly healthy. So go on and seek therapy. Literally, we all need that shit, period. And I
mm,
really want people to like stop saying like, "Oh, get therapy" as like a insult. Like, yes, we all need to.
And when you go. Don't go because you think you're supposed to. Go and actively
Go when you're
participate.
ready to do the
Right.
work and you're ready to be
mm-hmm,
honest with yourself.
mm-hmm.
Because if you're not ready for that, then ain't no work gonna be done.
Mm-mm.
Right. Because the main thing your therapist is going to do is reflect all your shit back at you.
Mhm.
And if you are not ready to look at it, to really dissect it, you're going to leave upset. And then you're going to get on Twitter and you're going to try to cuss out a therapist who also made you
Right,
upset. And then you're going to get her
right,
fired from her job because ultimately your ass needs to be in therapy.
right. At the end of the day, quiet as cat.
Okay.
Hmm. Her.
So yes, follow us on Instagram, Seek
Mhm.
Therapy Podcast, Twitter, Seek Therapy Pod, and yeah, put your friends on because y'all know they need motherfucking therapy.
Also, shout out to everybody on Instagram. Y'all are the reason why we did this episode today.
Right.
So thank y'all for voting.
Mm.
Yes.
Yay.
And shout out to
Yeah.
America for using Nene Leaks. I said what I said
Because how did I
Ah,
watch the story and I said what
because
I
motherfuckers
said?
do it.
Go
right.
back and vote. And people went back and voted too. So it worked.
And I love that
Oh.
for you. Yes. Nene always gets it done.
Always. She's a vibe. So
She is.
love her.
What was
All
her tagline?
right.
Bloop.
Bloop. Bling bling. Bitches is mad.
I love her. I really do.
Who chopped the ghetto?
The ghetto. I
You
just
Ah,
got a
watched
white
that clip.
refrigerator?
I just
Oh.
watched that clip. She said, "Ah, is that a white refrigerator?"
yo, we gotta
Find
do
you a
like
place.
a social experiment about that because the minute she said that, I remember like, shit, I got a white refrigerator. Oh, I got to get the hell up out of here. So shout out to
Uh-uh.
Nene because now we got stainless steel and the blacks and the thing.
And
Shout out to her.
do okay.
Shit.
Period.
Goodness me.
I love y'all. We could just be talking for hours, but Janae is up, so we will see y'all next week. And if you got anything from this, seek some therapy.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.